I always come back. Hello everyone. Today, I will be talking about something that I find very special and important. Something that if it didn't exist, the world would be a very different place. Something that many people don't really see the importance of, and usually chalk it up to being nothing worthwhile. Today, I will be talking about why video game music has the exact same importance that regular music has to our society. Also, if you couldn't already tell, this is the longest video on my channel so far. So if you could please subscribe and leave a like, so I will be motivated to make more videos like this one. Okay, now let's talk about the importance of video game music. In order to fully grasp why this music is so special, we need to go back to where it all began. Chapter 1. Early Civilizations. Nah, I'm just joking. But we first should talk about chiptune, as it is a big stepping stone in VGMs. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Back in simpler times, when the only thing people would care about when it came to video games was how many bits their console could run,
16-bit sports action.
You can't do this on Nintendo.
memory was a very finite resource. We're not talking gigabytes, we're not even talking megabytes. We're talking kilobytes. Now let me bore you with some math. 1 byte can store up to 8 binary digits, or for simpler folk, ones and zeros. There are about 1,000 bytes in 1 kilobyte, so about 8,000 ones and zeros per kilobyte. And although that might sound to some people like a big number, imagine trying to rewrite the entire Bible in 8,000 words. Actually, not even 8,000 words, 8,000 letters. And now take to perspective that 2 seconds of uncompressed audio is worth about 5 Bibles. Now you really start to see just how bad the limitations were in this era of gaming. But thankfully, people found a way around this. By using noises that could actually be produced from the console itself, instead of just ripping an already existing audio file onto it, game developers were able to save a ton of space. And thus, what would later be known as chiptune would be born. But eventually, after more and more years passed, memory would become cheaper to produce, until finally, the Sega CD came out.
Hey, you still don't have a Sega CD? Huh? What are you waiting for, Nintendo to make one? You have seen the games, right? Wrong answer, man. Show them!
Because now that the Sega CD was using, well, CDs, storage was not really as much of a problem anymore. I mean, yeah, compared to present day, it's still nothingness. But compared to the NES, it is insane. The Sega CD didn't just have enough space for uncompressed audio, but even full video. Although it was in this really fucking shitty resolution. And soon enough, a couple more years later, chiptune was no longer needed and is only used nowadays for certain situations, or for certain callbacks. Alright, enough with the history lesson, let's actually talk about video game music. About a year ago, I was having an argument with my friends about whether or not video game music was considered to be real music or not. Their main argument was that video game music was just too simple and repetitive to be real music.
This is Earth Radio, and now here's human music.
Human music. I like it.
Then one of them proceeded to dog on me for listening to the Mario Kart Wii soundtrack, but he listens to Weezer, so yeah. Anyways, a little bit after that extremely heated argument we had, it kind of dawned on me. There are people in this world who don't think video game music is real music. And that is the purpose of this video today. If I can get at least one other person to change their mind about video game music, this video will be a success. So please, if you would, like the video and subscribe, and let's begin. Nintendo has a perfect track record of all their games coming out with an insane soundtrack. Think of literally any Nintendo IP ever, and I'm sure you'll be able to name at least one iconic song. Honestly, I could make this entire video just about Nintendo music if I wanted to. But instead, I'd like to talk about one Nintendo song in particular, and it mainly has to do with my childhood. Mega Leg's theme from Super Mario Galaxy. Picture this. You're 4 years old and you just got a Nintendo Wii for Christmas. Cut a few months later and you're playing Super Mario Galaxy in your living room. You're progressing extremely slow in the game as you're more teething on the controller than you are using it. But eventually you make it to the first boss in the game, Mega Leg. While fighting the Shadow of the Colossus reject, you start to hear something in the background. You hear MIDI trumpets and military-style drums playing. A little while later, you start hearing violins coming in as well. All the instruments begin to build up for the final climax of the song. You're on the edge of your seat, struggling to fight against Mega Leg as you do not have the motor skills required to use 2 remotes at once yet. As the instruments swell up even more, soon to burst, there's only one thing you can do and you say, "Oh my God!" There are more emotions conveyed in this one part of the song than any full-length Pixar movie, and it's only 11 seconds. Mahito Yokota is a literal beast when it comes to Mario music in general, and if you ask me, this is probably one of his best pieces, just for those 11 seconds alone. Chef's kiss. Tekken. I think we can all agree when I say that Tekken has some absolute bangers in every one of their games, especially Tekken 2. But for me, I think the best Tekken soundtrack has to be from Tekken 4. This game came out when the PS2 was released, so it just reeks of early 2000s aesthetic. There's just something so calm and melancholic about it, with all the techno synths and pads. It just sounds so beautiful. But none of it compares to one particular song in the soundtrack. That song being Paul Phoenix's fucking shit. Paul Phoenix's ending. This was back when Paul was an actual fleshed out character with a story and goals, before they turned him into, Patrick Star with funny hair. Anyways, the story goes that in Tekken 4, when Paul wins the King of the Iron Fist tournament, he gets all of Heihachi's money and proceeds to spend the rest of his life in luxury, partying every night, always with a ton of girls. So, Andrew Tate. He partied for so long that he forgot completely who he was, and as it says in the ending, none of his fighting spirit remained. This then leads to the final cutscene that I will show now.
Alright, let's take a cab.
Paul! Hey, Paul! Paul!
Ain't my style.
This cutscene pretty much sold Paul for me, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to Paul's struggle with greed and his identity as well. But now what I'm going to do is change the music of the cutscene to something else, and we'll see if it has the same weight it had with the original music.
Alright, let's take a cab.
Huh?
Paul! Paul!
Ain't my style.
Okay, I know I was exaggerating a little bit with the sound effects and everything, but I think my point still stands. Music sells a story. Video game music, just like any other form of music, is able to make you feel certain emotions and shape a story by guiding you along with what's happening on screen. I mean, do you really think that in Star Wars, when Darth Vader tells Luke he is his father, if Sneaky Snitch was playing in that scene, do you think it really had the same mood to it?
No. I am the father.
Red Dead Redemption. Now, even if you've never listened to the Red Dead Redemption 2 soundtrack, you might already have without knowing it, because Dixie D'Amelio actually stole the melody to the house building theme for one of her own songs.
2020.
Sometimes I don't wanna be happy.
2018.
You know you've made a good song when you have multi-millionaire TikTok stars using it for their own benefit. And there's good reason to do so. This game is able to switch moods whenever it wants. Sometimes it can be goofy, sometimes it can be badass, and other times it can be... Good video game music should be able to convey multiple emotions in one song, such as the final mission when John goes to kick Micah's ass. If you've played this game, you'll know that not only does this song give you feelings of anger and rage, but also a sense of sadness and revengeance. Revengeance is a word, right? For Arthur's death. In my opinion, Red Dead Redemption 2 has the second best soundtrack in gaming history. Now, you might be wondering, well, if it's the second, then what could possibly be the first? And before I tell you, I would like to go down a list of honorable mentions for other video game OSTs that are also good, but if I were to talk about all of them, we'd be here for days. Now, back to what I was saying. Where does the best video game soundtrack come from? Well, it comes from this small little indie game that you've probably never heard of called... Yeah, I know, big surprise, everyone knows that Minecraft has a great soundtrack. But there's a really good reason why Minecraft's soundtrack is so popular. Now, Minecraft's composer, C418, is an absolute mad scientist when it comes to music, and this is probably his greatest creation. The music in Minecraft has some of the most iconic melodies to ever exist. Look, check this out. Boom, neuron activation. Fun fact, C418 also did the music for Cookie Clicker. For the, two people who care. I don't think there is a single song in this soundtrack that cannot be called a banger. Unless maybe the Nether music, but I mean, it's hell. It serves its purpose. Now that's cool and everything, but that's not the reason why I chose this soundtrack as number one. And no, it doesn't even have to do anything with nostalgia. It's the fact that these songs blend so well with the atmosphere and the mood that you can't even usually tell when the songs start or end. You'll just randomly start humming along to it while playing without even realizing it. The music fits so well that it feels like it's actually a part of the world and not just an added music track. And that is why, in my opinion, Minecraft is the greatest video game soundtrack of all time. Thank you for watching this video till the very end. This video has taken me 3 months to produce. mainly because of conflicts with school and my personal hobbies. But if this video does well enough, it'll make me more motivated to make more videos like this, and faster. So like I said in the beginning, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like. And if you're feeling really generous, you can also join the Discord server, link in description. Also, just for the record, I do listen to normal music as well, just if anyone's thinking that I only listen to like the Lego Island OST. Now personally, I don't really believe that VGMs are better than regular music, but I also don't think they're worse than regular music. And I know some people will come at me saying, but Hungry Bones, what about the really bad VGMs? Like KK Song, do you find that to be just as good as regular music? Well, no. But on the contrary, I could pick out any normal song that sounds like trash, and I could say the exact same thing. There will always be bad music in any genre, but that's actually a good thing, as if we didn't have bad sounding music, we wouldn't be able to appreciate the good sounding music. Okay, I'm rambling on for too long now. If you've enjoyed the video, like I said before, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in like one more month. Okay, bye!
Ha ha ha!